Okay, so I'm Kamalton, and I'll be talking a little bit about China, particularly its current economic standing and some of the transportational infrastructure. Here's a map of China. It's quite large and it's very populated. It has a variety of people. The population is so large that their workforce is an average of about 1 billion people. And it has a variety of ages that come with workforce. The numbers are from the World Factbook, and it's about the ages of 15 to 64 that make up that 1 billion workers. But like any other country, it has problems with its economy. And some of those problems is it has a hard time sustaining its jobs. It has such a large population that's coming into the workforce that it's hard to sustain it and keep finding jobs for everyone else. So they start running somewhat low on positions for people, and it causes families to go into poverty and just kind of scrounge for what they can to survive. Also, they have issues like other countries with corruption and economic crimes. Like 2 years back, there were people who were found out for tax fraud. That's a major economic crime and federal crime as well. And corruption would be like government spending money on like some governmental party or leaking governmental funds into their political, like their commercials and everything. And another one, and a major one, is environmental damage that's done from the factories and everything else as they progress. It just makes things harder to keep up and keep going. And it's something that even us here in the USA have problems with, is pollution from cars, from factories, and third world and developing countries also have the same thing because they don't have standards. Like we have standards that say you can't do this unless it's to a certain degree of cleanliness. GDP is the gross domestic product, whether it's money spent, imports, or exports. China's purchasing power is about $11.44 trillion, which has them ranked third in the world. The USA has a spending power of about $15.29 trillion, and we're first. And so they're relatively close to us, even though there is a $4 billion gap there. They're only 2 spots behind us overall for the nations. And percentage poverty-wise, they're about 13.4%. Compared to the US's 15.1%. Our percentage is higher, but we also have a smaller population. So their 13% has more people in it than our 15%. Debt. China only has a debt of $697.2 billion, which does seem like a lot, but when you compare it to the USA's $14.71 trillion, it's minuscule. And just some of you might not care so much about big facts, but on a daily living basis, according to my friend Wei-Tong Wang, the basic needs of like food, drink, and just basic shelter, like rent, are cheaper in China than they are here in the US. But at the same time, hobbies, like my friend likes playing video games, namely World of Warcraft. The monthly subscription fee in China is about $5 more when you convert it than it is to the US. So he pays about 20 bucks in US when you play it on the China server. Now I want to talk about a little bit about the transportation. Like any other, they have airports and helipads. The numbers are about 500 airports throughout all of China, and about 50 helipads, which are namely kept to hospitals for emergency, getting people from point A to point B from accidents. Also, it has about 75,742 kilometers of pipeline, which is used to transport oil and gas throughout the nation. A little thing I like to call the ways, which would be waterways, railways, and roadways. They have about 86,060 kilometers of railroad, 3,860,600 kilometers of roadways. And China has a vast population, so they have a lot of traffic. That's why everything's multi-laned, and it has about 110,000 kilometers of navigable waterways, so they can use them to transport stuff throughout the nation using the rivers, and has about 2,030 ships, merchant ships that they use to sail and do trade with other nations. So in retrospect, I hope you learned a little bit that China's economy standings is quite similar to ours in both poverty level and amount of spending power, but at the same time, they've managed their debt much better than the US has. And just like every other nation, they have transportation from point A to point B, whether it be air, sea, or roadways. Thank you.